Now next steps is that we present this program to the IMF. Key another important date is, as you all know, in public domain, this Friday, 23rd of this month, because we reached the agreement the IMF, I think, first of this month, and we did some background work with the advisors that we have appointed to help us in debt restructuring, the Lazard and Gilbert Chance, the financial legal advisors. With them, we have worked a program, and the first step of debt restructuring is now we are formally making the announcement and making a public presentation, inviting all the creditors, external creditors, and we present this is our program and this is what we expect. And we, together with the IMF, will also be helping us to make the first step of that process, the formally commencing the debt restructuring process. That is where the role of international community is very, very important. When you look at the international community who are the creditors of Sri Lanka for several years, obviously, we have a large chunk of commercial credit, what we have issued in terms of international sovereign bonds to commercial institutions globally. And some of basically are held by local banks as well. And then we have bilateral traditional lenders, India, Japan, China are the main ones. Plus there are a number of other countries. There are three groups here. One is the Paris Club. Japan is the largest credit in Paris Club. And there are a lot of other Western countries. There's one group. And this non-Paris Club key creditors are India and China. So those are the two large partners, the creditors, on a bilateral basis. And then large the sovereign bond holders on commercial basis. So for the IMF to be able to present their program to the executive board and start dispersing money, we have to obtain what they call financial assurances from our bilateral creditors, indicating that all those creditors collectively are willing to support Sri Lanka in the debt restructuring process going forward. So that assurance is the first next crucial step. And then we have to negotiate in good faith with commercial creditors that we are also seeking some relief from them with an intention for them to be able to recover the relief they are going to provide in the short term, in the medium term, in terms of recovering the economy after this program. So that is the next part. So this is next part. That's where the role of international community, the first important priority right now from international creditors or friends and partners, for us to be able to get their assurance that they will be supporting us, the important statement that we are seeking from our bilateral creditors. That's the next step. That's what we are going to start from Friday onwards. So that's where China, India, all are with. I think all are friendly countries to Sri Lanka. They have been helping Sri Lanka at difficult times, all the countries. And we want to do it in a comparable, open and transparent manner that everyone knows what others are offered, and an equal, comparable basis we will be asking similar relief from all the creditors on certain basis, and hopefully they will give us that assurance sooner the better. So that is the time frame. So that's the first part is that. Then the question a lot of people are asking how long it would take. It all depends on the hands of our international partners. That is where their role is very important on this point. The shorter the time they take for them to give us the assurance, sooner we can go to take our program to the IMF and start disbursing money from the Monetary Fund, and then with that as disbursement, And there will be a lot of other investors as well as the multilateral partners like ADB, World Bank will supplement, enhance their support from that point onwards. So then what we hope, that is a crucial, important turning around point for us to stabilize the economy. That's the point. So how long it will take, depending on the support we are going to get from the international partners. So then question is that from that point to that point, there's an interim period. How we are going to manage that situation? Already what we know, as you all know, we are not out of the wood yet. Still, we basically manage the situation in a very, very painful manner. We have basically, for us to be able to manage the economy from this point until that point, we have to go through a kind of a difficult period, because that's why we have adjust ourselves internally. We economy is now contracting. We had to contract our imports for us to be able to manage with our export incomes. So we have to, one is contract economic activities, contract the imports, impose sort of bans on some what we think non-essential at this point, and go through this, and also manage to go through a very high interest rates and slow down economic activities. And meanwhile, we are basically protecting most affected, poor and vulnerable, while others, everyone will have to share some of the pain during this process. For us to be able to manage the minimum pain, this is why a lot of difficult measures that we had to take in terms of import controls, in terms of high interest rates, contracting the economy and lowering economic activities, and allowing exposed to perform. Otherwise, we will be having a lot more difficult challenges if we don't get foreign exchange income. This is the other, that period. International partners also can help. Obviously, I should mention here, during difficult periods, India helped great, especially in the short to medium term facilities that India gave us, almost $4 billion worth of to last several months. That was a lifeline. Even with difficulties, we were able to manage the situation. With that lifeline, I must appreciate and thank India for that support. But going forward, we can't rely and ask continuously from our partners, because we are expecting some more relief going forward. So now we have to manage ourselves. That's why we took a decision. For us to be able to manage ourselves, we are contracting our economic activities, we are contracting our imports. And the difficulty is that I see a lot of requests coming from a lot of other sectors saying that, we don't have these raw materials, we don't have foreign exchange import, but still for any business to survive, basic thing is you need petrol, diesel, fuel, petroleum, pharmaceuticals, and the gas. All these are necessary, basic necessities for people to have at least basic lifestyle that we have been able to manage to a certain extent until now. For us to be able to continue, that we need to have that process going forward until we reach that assurance. This is why it's quite important that the situation we should be able to manage from this point until we get financial assurances. Once we get that, and once we get the approval from the IMF Executive Board for a 4-year extension fund facility, I am very confident that we can stabilize the economy, and you all can basically be able to gradually get back to normal economic activities for all normal businesses, and can have a better and basically normal what we are seeing in the past.